Hi, and welcome to SimpleSpiritualityPH. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Regine. I am an intuitive, manifesting-based tarot reader. I'm a certified Reiki healer and an overall lightworker. And before we dive into today's episode, I would like to invite everyone who would like to receive notifications of my new videos, please hit the subscribe button over there. If you like this video later on, please give it your thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions you want to say hey, just comment down below. And if you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me, online for now, of course, here are the details. Alrighty, so let's get to the meat of the video. Now, today's video is actually it was a request by one of my YouTube subscribers. Thank you so much for requesting this, and it's a great idea. And it ties in perfectly well with all the tarot cards video series that I've been doing so far. You know, the how to select and purchase a tarot deck, how I do my tarot readings, and all the tarot Q&As so far. So this is all about how to protect your cards, how to store them, and these are just some of the ways that I actually discovered for myself. You know, I mean, there are so many ways to protect your cards. There are so many ways to prolong the longevity of your cards and the quality of your cards as well. But these are just the ways that I discovered for myself, and these are the ways that I do it. So my first tip is to find an elevated place to keep your cards, an elevated dry place to keep your cards. And I'll probably link the video down here or up here, but in one of my videos I did show you where my cards are, where I put my cards. Basically, if I lift it up, you'll be able to see most of them. Well, actually not most of them, half of them up over there. And the reason why I say elevated and dry place is because for me particularly, if you see in my background, I have a plant over there and the plant has water. If, for example, I tip that water over and it hits a tarot card deck that has very thin kind of lining or a thin kind of cardboard cardstock that surrounds it, that protects it, then you're in trouble. So if you're going to store your cards in your room, make sure that you elevate them just so you can avoid spillage on them. You can avoid, let's say, for example, what if for example, you're spraying on cologne and your tarot cards are kind of beneath the level of your cologne. The moment that you get cologne on your cards or in the box of your cards, you're in big trouble. Same goes if you're cooking, if you get any oil on them, which has happened to me in the past because I love to cook. So if you get any oil on them, you're also in big trouble. The moment that you get any moisture creep into the weak spots of your cards, then you're in big trouble. So make sure you find a place that is dry and that is elevated so that you can avoid any kind of spillage whatsoever. I've also spilled coffee in my cards in the past as well. And we all know that cards are a luxury. You know, they're not an essential good, but they are a luxury to have. And some of them, majority of the ones that are really nice and are really good are expensive. And so we have to take care of them in that sense. Another thing that I highly, highly suggest and that I do all the time is to always bring a scarf. I always get cold, so I always have a scarf in my bag, no matter what, even if it's summer. What if something spills on me and I need to cover it with a scarf, you know? So a scarf is a multi-tool for me. Not only does it keep me from shivering and, freezing to death in winter and at any point in time, but it also doubles as a reading mat. So this scarf, for example, I can put this on any surface, especially if you're reading outside of your office, especially when I'm reading outside of my office. I can put it on any surface and not worry about whether or not my cards are going to pick up grease or water or coffee from a table, you know? And you can also actually use this to further protect your cards. So let's say, for example, I have my Harmonious Mini Tarot deck here. I can put it here and actually wrap it. So I'll put it here, and I'll wrap it with my scarf. And that's ready to go inside my bag, done, you know? So that's extra padding for your cards as well. Now, let me talk about card boxes. Obviously, I did not take care of these two card boxes. This is the Chinese Tarot and this is the Harmonious Mini Tarot, both of which already have box ears. This one has box ears and this one is almost completely ripped in half. All right, it's reaching the half point. And this is because I decided to bring these cards with me in my bag, put them in my bag, and bring them in the entire box that it was in, which is obviously a no-no if I wanted to preserve the boxes. And sadly for me, I did, because look at the artwork. The artwork on the boxes are beautiful. They are part of the tarot deck as well. And you can hear a dog. And it's the same for the Chinese Tarot. It has a beautiful cover. It has a beautiful back as well. But I didn't think to put them in a pouch. So my next big tip for everyone is basically, if you want to bring your cards around, use a pouch. Take the cards out of the box, leave the beautiful box at home, and put your cards in a pouch. All right, that's my next tip. Now, my fourth tip, I think this is my fourth tip, is to find a pouch that has a smooth lining inside. Now this tarot pouch, I made this myself. I make tarot pouches as well. And I chose soft, I forgot what material this is, but I chose soft material on the inside. As you can see, there are no sharp edges to it. You know, it doesn't actually crease when I do that. So it's particularly soft. And this is because you don't want the interior of the pouch to scrape the grain of your cards, especially if it's a card that's very sensitive, like for example, the Lion Strider. If you have cards which are very thin and you have a rough lining of a card pouch, that is going to do damage on the surface of your cards, and it's going to make your cards weaker and weaker until your cards eventually start to rip apart, they start to break apart, they start to fold in half and stuff like that. So whenever you're choosing a pouch or whenever you're making a pouch, choose lining that is soft, that won't damage your cards. Silk, of course, is the best. I've tried satin. Satin can be a little rough if it's the kind of satin with the matte interior. That can be a little rough. That can be abrasive to your cards, but try to, as much as possible, use the softest materials. If you want, you can also use water repellent, liquid repellent kinds of materials for your cards, and that will do well, especially when it comes to the rainy season or in winter, and for example, there's too much precipitation and condensation going on, humidity, the shifting from humidity and non-humid temperatures. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, you get the point, basically. So yeah, now let's talk about the different, I have to add something. There are cards which come in a tin, like the White Sage Tarot. And if it has a tin, that's actually perfect as well. It's automatically water repellent, liquid repellent, and it keeps your cards in perfect form, in perfect shape, because the tin will always be a little larger than the shape of the actual cards and the size of the actual card. So it allows them a little breathing room. And when they move like this as one unit, then there's not much damage that can be done to them. Now, let's talk about cardstock. And this is perfect because let me just get one card from the White Sage. The White Sage Tarot has a very thin kind of cardstock, and this kind of cardstock absorbs water, a lot of water. So you want to be careful with this kind of cardstock because they'll gather more water if, you know, if something gets poured on them, or for example, if they're close to a humidifier or if they're close to an air conditioner. And that has actually happened to some of my cards. Some of them, after I've turned on my electric fan, after I've turned on my air conditioner, actually my air conditioner, some of them are softer than the others. And I noticed that because of the cardstock, the kind of cardstock that they have. Now this kind of cardstock, White Sage Tarot, has that cardstock. So you want to keep this as dry as possible. And that's why sometimes a tin can is the best option for them. Never ever place cards like these near water, near a place where there's high condensation, because they will absorb that water. Now there's a different kind of cardstock, which is the Crazy Sexy Love Notes. Now this cardstock is matte. As you can see, it does not reflect, it only glows. So this kind of cardstock really literally, quite literally actually, repels water almost instantly. Now this one, these kinds of cards you can place anywhere in your room, anywhere elevated, and they'll be safe. You know, I mean, you can place them near the air conditioner and they'll be fine. They won't absorb that much water, but all the same, keep them away from moisture as well. And I guess the one of the best things that I've learned when it comes to storing tarot cards as well is be mindful of the different kinds of weights that you put on them. Now, what do I mean by this? Oftentimes we stack cards, right? You'll see I have stacked cards there. We stack cards one after the other, and that's normal. This kind of stacking is normal. But what if you're going to stack them in a different way, in a different manner, like this, for example? If your cards are in a hard box, as this deck is, the Crazy Sexy Love Notes, if they are in a hard box, then it's okay to stack different weights and different sizes of cards on top of them. And that is because they won't affect the cards inside. There's room for the cards to kind of move around still when it comes to the boxes like these. But if you have, for example, a soft box like this is the Chinese Tarot, a soft box like this that you're going to stack with a very heavy box here on one side and a very light box here on the other side, you will find that this portion of your cards are going to be compacted. They're going to be more compacted. They're going to be thinner in size. And when you shuffle them, it's going to be more difficult because they won't be the same, they won't be aligned. The card itself, in itself, won't be aligned anymore. So be very wary of how you stack your cards if they are in soft boxes. If it's in a hard box like this, it's perfectly fine. I mean, stack away, right? Stack, what do you call this? Stack different weights as much as you can. It won't affect the card whatsoever. All right? So yeah, those are all my tips for you. And I realized that I just breezed through them. I hope they were so helpful, by the way. If you want more tips, comment down below. If you want me to discuss any more, tarot care tips, again, just comment down below or message me. If you like this video, please give it your thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions, you want to say hey, again, comment down below. If you would like to receive notifications of my new videos, please hit the subscribe button over there. And if you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me, online for now, of course, here are the details. And I will see you guys next time. Stay happy, stay healthy, take care of your cards, and ciao for now. Bye.